Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, inside the Stream Europe studios. Once again, it is your boy Jake representing the Fighting Now, and we are live here. And I'm so excited because today we have a very special guest, a woman who pretty much killed it in her last fight at Ohio Combat League. Someone who has been very incredible, and I'm telling y'all, this fighter has such an amazing story from her journey of being an amateur to a pro. And yet, this is my first time to get a chance to have her a part of the interviews. Help me welcome the beautiful, the incredible Miss Chelsea Lagrasse.
Hello, thank you.
No problem. How are you doing?
I am good, doing well.
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to get just to have you here. So yet I know your first fight this past weekend was your first fight since injury. So if you don't mind me asking, what injury did you end up suffering before you got a chance to recover and heal and all that?
So I tore my ACL and my meniscus during training. So and then I had to have surgery to fix that, and the recovery for that was kind of long. So yeah, not fun.
Hey, oh, I say not. And you know what? The one thing I can say about this though is that good things come for those who wait, and you've been waiting very patiently to get back in the cage. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. I mean, my last fight before that was May of 2021. So it's been a minute.
Been 2 years. That's incredible. That's incredible. So, first of all, let's go and get things started. Is that we all get inspired by what we do. For me, it's interviewing, but for you, it's fighting. So, what inspired you to start fighting?
So I had taken some kickboxing classes in college, and I really liked it. And then I had wanted to learn some self defense because I had previously been in a abusive relationship, and I had gotten out of that, and so wanted to learn how to protect myself better and not get into that situation again. So I just started going to this really small gym. Everyone there was fighters. There was maybe like a handful of people there, and so I just started training there. That's the only gym that was available in my area. And I was just going to take a fight just to like a bucket list sort of thing. Like, let's just do it once and see how it goes, just to say I did it. And then I won my first amateur fight and just kept going with it from there. So
That's incredible. That's incredible. And one thing about it though is that you talked about you got out of a abusive relationship, and it pretty much helped you not only because now you're a fighter, but it's also help you to go and do self defense. So if there's any women, anybody that's in these abusive relationships, go and be a part of a gym because trust me, I want to tell you, you'll get a chance to learn self defense, and then you'll end up being maybe you might be like Chelsea here. You might get a chance to be like a fighter. So you never know, right?
yeah, absolutely. I always encourage women, whether you're in that situation or not, it's always good to get in the gym and learn some classes and just learn a little bit of something, even if it's just a little bit that you can use to defend yourself and also give you that confidence too.
And the only thing about those, it's more than just fighting. It's also get a chance to learn so much because you never know what these situations can happen in the world that we're seeing today. Is that you need self defense. So go give it a try. I encourage any women, anybody out there who needs self defense. This is a great time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's a scary world out there. You never know what could happen. So it's definitely been.
Exactly, for sure. And hopefully I ain't butchering this up. So you pretty much training at Ronin Training Center. Is that right?
Ronin Training Center.
Ronin Training Center. I butcher things a lot, so my apologies. So pretty much Ronin Training Center has helped you become the amazing fighter that you are today. Talk about how much they mean to you and how much they've helped you ever since you first started.
Yeah, so Ronin isn't where I started. I started going there probably, I'd say 2 years after I started training initially.
Yeah.
I love Ronin. It's a great gym. There's a lot of good training partners there. The coaches are great. Everyone's really supportive, and whether you win or lose, they're there for you and pushing each other to be better. It's welcoming to everybody, even if you're not a fighter. If you're just someone who just wants to do it as a hobby or just for fitness, they're welcoming to everyone. So I love Ronin.
So if you guys are in the area, go give Ronin a try because like you said before, you don't have to be a fighter to go be a part of these training centers, should I say? And of course, there's so many ways to get a chance to learn not only just fitness, but also get a chance to learn so much. It's like you're training to be a fighter. So go give Ronin a try. I encourage anybody because really, truly, it's like and this is something that I've always experienced that whenever you first walk into a gym. You may not know the people. You may not even think that these people may like you. But once we first started, you become somebody. You become a part of a family, And those people may not know you on the outside, but they know you on the inside. So trust me when I tell you, if you're struggling, if you're dealing with a lot, go give Ronan a training center a lot, because I'm telling you this though, they'll train so many incredible people, not only just to be fighters, but become the amazing person that they are today. Especially look at Chelsea here.
Yeah, no, like you said, when you start going to a gym like that, people become family, and they become your good friends because you spend a lot of time with them, and they see you when you're at your best and when you're at your worst, and it's a judgment free zone. Everyone's welcome in that space.
And I think with the war that we're living in today, especially for someone who struggles like either mentally or physically, we all need some sort of family-like environment. So trust me when I tell y'all, go give Ronan a try.
Yeah, absolutely.
So pretty much, one thing about it, though, is that there's not only, there's more than just fighting. I mean, a lot of these warriors like Chelsea have gone through so much, not only just fight camps and of course all this, but of course they go through so much training. And one thing about training is that there's always been a lot of great side of things when it comes to training, but it's also been some tough slash hard parts about training. So from your perspective, what's been the hardest part about training?
I think the hardest part about training for me personally is maintaining the rest of the things in my life that I have to maintain. I still have adult responsibilities to take care of. I have my daughter, I have my business to run, I have my house to take care of, and then still making time to, put those hours in at the gym is that can sometimes be hard to balance all of those things and still have the energy to do all of the things that I need to do.
Yeah, and it's really incredible. And I've always wondered is that you guys go through so much. You talked about it outside of training, outside of the fighting stuff. You have your daughter to take care of. You have your business to work out on, and you put so much on you. And it's amazing to see what all that you, the women, can do. So I admire you for everything that you're doing right now.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. So, at the end of the day, I choose to do it. So because I enjoy it, and it's an accomplishment for me. So I like to challenge myself and to keep pushing forward.
It's that warrior mentality is what I think about it every day. Is that warrior mentality. So I really, really do admire that for you. And of course, one thing I think about this though is that as an interviewer, this sport has helped out so many fighters, so many interviewers in so many ways. Not only, of course, the physical aspects, but of course the mental aspects. This sport has helped us so many ways mentally. So yet, the question I want to ask you is that how much has the sport helped you out mentally?
It's helped me mentally in a lot of ways. Training helps me with the stress and the anxiety of life and dealing with that and having a place to channel that sort of energy, but it's also made me more confident in myself and my ability to handle myself if I were ever attacked again. It gives me peace of mind in that arena too, and also to protect my daughter and anybody else around me at that time. And I think it gives you that sense of community too, which is also really good for my mental well-being.
And not only that, but those that, as the interviewers, that, even though I may not have fought before, because I can understand so many of these issues that the fighters and so many people have dealt with. I mean, I've always talked about this, though, is that if you're watching this right now and you're sitting on the couch dealing with depression, anxiety, whatever it may be, trust me when I tell you, go to Ronin, go to any sort of training camp that a gym that can possibly help you, because trust me when I tell you, it's like you're going to a new family that's been waiting for you, because even though you may not feel loved by your own family, that gym can become your new family, and it can help you out in so many ways. So I encourage anybody that's watching this live or later on to go give fighting a chance. Go give something brand new, because you don't have to be a fighter just to be a part of the gym. As long as you're there, get a chance to be surrounded by amazing people, that's the only thing that matters. And you'll see a lot of changes, not only just physically, but mentally. The way you think about things, the way you think about a lot of stuff right now can help you change down there later on the run.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
And of course, something that I've always talked about is that, when it comes to these fights, there's also going to be fight camps. And of course, you just went through your last fight, you had fight camps. And the one thing I want to ask you this, though, is that what has been some of the toughest challenge that you've had to face during fight camp?
I think it goes back to the balancing of everything too. And the hardest part for me of getting ready for a fight is the dieting because I don't like dieting. I like food. And so, and trying to keep your calories down and cut weight and lose weight while you're also putting a lot of energy and time into training at the same time, that can be really tough because you'll have days where you just feel really drained and really tired and you want to go eat some pizza and ice cream and you can't. So for me, that's the toughest part.
I can imagine just sitting in the sauna, just sweating your heart out, sweating and trying to lose all this weight, and all of a sudden here comes some guy walking by with like a double cheeseburger and just staring through the window, and it's making you want to get out of that sauna and just go attack the guy over that cheeseburger. I can't even imagine what goes through your mind during that time.
You definitely, you just start craving weird things, stuff that you don't normally wouldn't crave because you can't have anything. So now you just want everything, even if you never did it before in your life.
So I gotta ask this though: was there ever a time that you really craved something that you may or may not like during fight camp, and you just really want it?
Yeah, during this fight camp, there was one night I was driving by a White Castle and I was like, oh man, White Castle sounds really good right now. And usually I would just White Castle is disgusting. I would never eat there. But the fight camp diet had me craving some weird stuff. So
Well, that's really that takes a lot of guts, and especially the fact that you don't even like White Castle, and you just driving there. It's like I want to pull over and turn around, but if Coach finds out that I'm eating White Castle, he'll kill me.
yeah, he'd be mad. I'd be mad at him too.
I don't blame you for sure. And of course, something that we talked about is that you had your last win this past weekend at Ohio Combat League, your first fight in over 2 years, and it seems crazy. Of course, you had a torn ACL. You went through so much. So, how much did this win mean to you, especially coming off injury?
It was a big win for me. It was a big deal, This was kind of a turning point in my career with this fight, whether I was going to keep going with it or just kind of do it just for fun, instead of trying to be super serious with it. So it was a big deal for me, and overcoming that hurdle with the injury physically and mentally, it was huge for me. So because there's always that little fear in the back of your head that you're going to hurt yourself again, or you're just not going to perform as well because it's been a while, and the pressure of getting in the cage and not dealing with that for a couple years. There's always a little bit of nervousness and uncertainty in there, obviously. So it was a really big deal for me to win this fight, especially in the way that I did. And I'm feeling really good after that, feeling really happy with the training that I put in, and it obviously paid off.
And of course, not only that, though, this was you won by via TKO in the first round, right?
Yep, yep.
That was
Uh,
incredible.
2 minutes and 10 seconds in the first round.
You got the job done very quickly for your first fight back. That is just really incredible because, like I said before, you may not know what can happen. The fight can go all the routes it possibly could, but instead, you decided to change things up. Said, no, this is my moment. It's my time. End things quickly. I say that when it comes to quick finishes, that means a lot to a fighter. I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every fighter wants to get a quick finish. So if you don't have to go all 3 rounds and leave it up to the judges, then that's obviously ideal.
I think the biggest goal is that something that we've learned from watching UFC to Invicta and so many of these different promotions is that never leave it to the judges because it may not go in your way. So that's why you have to end the fight just like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you never know what the judges are going to see and what they're judging on, and especially if it's a close fight, sometimes you never know. So, and you don't want to leave it up to that. So, getting a quick finish that's you really couldn't ask for much better than that.
Exactly, for sure. And of course, something that I thought about is that your first fight back, and that means is that you've seen so many different new faces, especially when it comes to the pro side of things. Many different girls that may be on top of your list. So, is there anybody that you have in mind that you want to face this year?
Nobody in particular, really. I would like to have a rematch with Elle at some point in time. I don't know if she's open to that, but other than that, I don't really have anyone specific in mind. I'm keeping my options open.
And hey, whatever next fight happens, I'm excited because you're a tremendous fighter, and I think that whoever you fight next, it's gonna be a great one for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm shooting for maybe sometime in the spring or the summertime for the next fight. So
Hey, now if you're on the East Coast side of things, I mean, definitely want to get those allergies out of the way so you get a chance to go fight for sure. So hopefully that ain't the case. So if I was you, spring may be great, but you never know, something might happen in the summer, right?
That's true. You never know.
Exactly, exactly. So pretty much, you pretty much started off an amazing win last weekend. That's one goal you want to accomplish, that getting that first win of the year. So is there any other goals that you want to get a chance to accomplish?
I would like to do some more jujitsu competitions this year. I would like to be more active with that. Um, so whether they're just like little low level local tournaments or doing some IBJJF tournaments, I'd like to spend some more time in that, and also work on. I would like to work on getting my purple belt this year, so that's a goal of mine as well.
I'm crossing my fingers as far as getting the purple belt, and I really hope that you do make that happen because I know it's been a tough journey just for you to even get that purple belt, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't train in the gi too often, so it does take me a while because most of my training is fight focused. So I would like to continue to spend more time in the gi and keep working my way up in that side of things as well.
Well, hey, I look forward to it. Hopefully, you get a chance to have that one goal accomplished, which is getting the purple belt. And before we move on to my final question, guys, if you guys want to go chance to go follow Chelsea, even though she has plenty of followers, but hey, doesn't hurt to get a chance to have some more. So make sure you guys go follow her at Chelsea Cayenne. Hopefully, I said that right, because okay, perfect. Because one thing I can say is that ever since I got a chance to meet her, she's such a phenomenal fighter, such a tremendous person, one badass mom, and she does so much. So if y'all can go give her a follow. I'm sure she appreciates it, especially for how much of the hard work that she's done inside and outside of the cage.
Yeah, absolutely. I thank you for sharing that, and I also like to share a lot of self defense videos too. So hopefully something on there will be helpful for somebody.
Cross my fingers. So yeah, if you guys want to get a chance to get involved with self defense, go follow her because I know she does tremendous on that. She does so much for inside and outside the cage, like I said before. Because as long as you get a chance to learn self defense, if some dude was attacking you at the mall, you know exactly what to do. You ain't trying to break the dude's arm off, but you know how to self defend yourself.
Yep, absolutely. I have no question that I'd be able to handle myself in most situations. As long as there's not like a weapon involved or something like that, that changes things a little bit. But outside of that, I can handle myself.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, especially with the phenomenal beast that you are. Because I wouldn't mess with you. I don't think anybody that would try to rob you or anything would want to mess with you, especially if they know who you are.
Yes, yeah. Well, if they did, it'd be a bad day for them. So
R.I.P. to them. That's all I can say is R.I.P. to them.
exactly.
All right, so pretty much my final question. This is a question I ask all the fighters. This is pretty much a question I've thought of, ever since I started doing the interviews. Is that we all want to get a chance to be recognized for doing something. Me, I want to get a chance to be recognized as a great interviewer, to get a chance to have great time with fighters like you. But for you, there's so many different things that you want to be recognized for. So, what's something you want to be recognized for during your time in fighting?
Um, that's a good question, and that's something I probably really haven't thought about before. But um, overall, I want to be remembered as a someone who respected the sport and was a good sport among, no matter what happened. I'm not the type of fighter that likes to talk a lot of trash or, create drama just for some attention for a fight. So I want to be known as a fighter that pushed through obstacles and did their best and always was a good sport to the fighters, and also just represented what martial arts means as a whole. And it was meant to help people and to help people feel more confident and to help keep themselves safe. And that's the ultimate goal for me as a fighter, is to not only challenge myself in my fights, but to share my knowledge with other people and help other people feel the way that martial arts has made me feel.
And I think it's very beautiful because if you think about this, though, like last year with, from the boxing side of things, we've seen so much trash talking from the ladies' side, from bare knuckle, we've seen a lot of trash talking from there. But it's like you are a rarity when it comes to the sport because, most people, they like to create chaos for excitement for every fight. You just try to keep peace, focus on you respecting your opponent first, get the win, but also showing that hey, it's okay to show one another person love because they're focusing on the same goals as you are. They're focusing on the same accomplishments as you are. So it's very rare to see that, and I definitely do admire that. I think anybody that's watching this now will see that it's okay to have a little trash talking there, but respect your opponents, respect them, because while pushing, while talking BS on Twitter may be great for social media and everything, what really matters is to get a chance to show that, hey, I admire this person for for one, stepping into the cage with me, for two, get a chance to train with me, train as hard as I am, but also respecting me as a fighter and as a person. So I definitely do respect that. So it's beautiful to see. I hope we get a chance to see you fight more. And I definitely do appreciate you for all that you do for MMA, for women's MMA. I cannot wait to see what happens and see what's next for you. I stutter a lot and I apologize.
You're fine. No, thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on the show. And thanks for all the great questions.
And I try my best. I mean, especially with like the amount of time that I had, so it was only like the best thing I could do. So once again, guys, if you guys want to get a chance to go follow her at Chelsea Cayenne, because there's more to come for this phenomenal fighter. There's more to come for this beautiful mother. There's more to come for this amazing person that she is. So yeah, before you go, and I do this with all my interviews, but I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy to get a chance to have an amazing woman like you to get a chance to be interviewed. So it's awesome. I hope you had a great time. Thank you so much for all that you do for the sport. Do you have any final thoughts or comments?
Oh, thank you for hosting this podcast. Thank you for highlighting the fighters that you do, and keep up the good work.
Hey, we'll definitely see you soon, and hopefully we'll get a chance to have a second interview later on down the road, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I'll see you later, okay?
All right. See ya.
See ya. That was Miss Chelsea Lagrasse, ladies and gentlemen. A phenomenal interview. Of course, a start to what's more to come. Tomorrow, we have two interviews. We have Miss Nadine. We have Miss Hannah. It's going to be incredible. Two back-to-back interviews that you guys do not want to miss here on the YouTube channel. But if you guys want to get a chance to go and subscribe, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share, because we also have more for you guys on the Fighting Now Instagram. That is right. We have some merchandise. You guys can go and check that out. The link is in my bio on the Instagram site. So go follow us at Instagram at The Fighting Now. But hey, until then, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jake representing The Fighting Now, saying so long, be safe, and have a good one.